Something about the food people eat today feels different. Most people notice it in small ways before they can explain it clearly. Energy does not hold as long as it used to. Hunger returns sooner than expected. Digestion feels less stable even when nothing obvious has changed in daily routine. At the same time, the data is moving in a specific direction. According to the CDC, more than 70% of adults in the United States are now overweight or obese. A significant portion of the population is already dealing with early metabolic dysfunction. National dietary data also shows high intake of ultra-processed food. These patterns are often explained at the individual level. But when the same outcomes appear across millions, it suggests something broader is happening. Over the past few decades, the American food system has undergone structural changes, not just in ingredients, but in how food is produced and regulated. Many of these changes were designed to improve efficiency and shelf life. Those goals were achieved, but they also changed how the human body responds. Start with something most people have seen but rarely question closely. Bread, a simple loaf made from flour, water, and yeast does not last long. Within a few days, it dries out. Soon after, mold begins to form. That process is not a failure of the food. Now compare that to what is commonly sold in supermarkets today. Commercial loaves can sit for 1 or 2 weeks without visible spoilage. This difference comes from desired choices. Compounds such as calcium propionate are widely used in baked goods to inhibit mold growth. Bread needs to survive transportation across long distances, but the function of the product changes when that happens. Spoilage used to act as a biological signal. When that signal is suppressed, the product moves further away from natural breakdown processes. The same pattern appears in produce. Apples are often stored using controlled atmosphere systems that reduce oxygen levels and slow metabolic activity. Food is no longer optimized primarily for biological interaction. It is optimized for stability across a supply chain. The human body does not respond to food in a clear way. The feedback exists, but it is delayed and often indirect. Blood sugar levels rise and fall over hours. Hormonal responses take time to adjust. Low-grade inflammation does not appear instantly. If a response happens 24 hours later, most people do not associate it with a specific food. They blame sleep, stress, or a busy schedule. The structure of modern diets makes this harder. Ultra-processed food is designed to be consistent and immediately rewarding. Another shift has to do with speed. In the US, the average commercial chicken reaches market weight in a little over 6 weeks. This change came from selective breeding and controlled feeding. Faster growth affects tissue structure, fat distribution, and meat composition. Research found declines in key nutrients like iron and calcium in crops. As plants grow faster, they accumulate fewer minerals. Soil is a complex biological system, but modern farming relies on monoculture. Over time, certain nutrients are depleted faster than they are restored. Synthetic fertilizers support plant yield but do not replace the range of trace minerals and the interactions found in healthy soil ecosystems. The rise of ultra-processed food represents the final shift. More than half of daily calorie intake in the US now comes from these products. The goal is optimization. Flavor is engineered to be appealing. Products are designed to be convenient and predictable across large systems. The food is accessible and affordable, but the structure of these products changes how the body responds. One key difference is how satiety signals function. Whole foods contain fiber, water, and complex structures that slow down consumption and digestion. Ultra-processed food is often lower in fiber and designed for faster intake. This makes it easier to consume more calories before feeling full. The blends of salt, sugar, and fat is carefully calibrated to maximize palatability, influencing eating behavior over time and creating micronutrient gaps. Additives like emulsifiers and stabilizers serve technical purposes, maintaining texture and shelf life. Research explores how these interact with the human body. Studies have linked common emulsifiers to changes in gut microbiota. However, these findings come primarily from animal models rather than human trials. The digestive system evolved to process whole foods. It is now regularly exposed to engineered combinations designed for stability and consistency. Modern food systems operate across complex supply chains. Ingredients are sourced globally, processed, and distributed through several stages before reaching you. Digestion differs globally. In the US, most substances are generally recognized as safe, while the EU often follows a more precautionary principle. Convenience drives the system. As food preparation time has dropped significantly, meals have become faster, more predictable, and less structurally complex. Manufacturers target the bliss point, the perfect balance of sugar, fat, and salt. This makes food highly rewarding and easier to overconsume. Understanding these patterns helps us navigate a system optimized for speed. It allows us to interpret our body's signals in a changing environment,